Welcome back to 843 TV. We're here now with Mr. David Ames. He's here with the Community Foundation of the Lowcountry. Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.
So the Community Foundation always has so many different aspects and they have so much going on. It's hard to cover in a 7-minute segment. But today we're talking about community funds. So Long Cove Club has established a community fund with the Community Foundation of the Lowcountry. So tell everybody a little bit, what is that exactly?
Back in 2003, Long Cove was interested in becoming more philanthropic, and I had been on the Community Foundation board, and we were discussing how the Community Foundation might help Long Cove set up the fund. So Long Cove created a fund underneath the umbrella of the Hilton Head, or the Community Foundation of the Lowcountry, and has been given money ever since to the community.
So how many local communities have funds with the Community Foundation?
There are 7 communities. In addition to Long Cove, there's Colleton, Belfair, Hampton Hall, Hampton Lakes, Tide Point, Cypress, and they all took advantage of the Community Foundation's umbrella and 501c3 classification.
And do the benefactors change from year to year, or how does that work? Do you have a different focus?
Each community decides what its focus is.
Yeah.
And then they have a selection committee that determines from the applications that are submitted what they want to give to whom that year.
Okay, and that's an annual process.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the Community Foundation acts as a bank, so to speak, or
a bank and takes care of administrative matters, handles all the paperwork with the IRS. So it really does give a great advantage to communities who don't want to jump into all the other things that are required in a 501c3.
Right, and many times, and applying for your own 501c3, a lot of people don't realize how much paperwork, red tape, and even time is involved. So will the Community Foundation help you with that process? Well, not help you, but serve as that
absolutely, and because the communities don't have to set up their own 501c3, they just become a fund underneath the banner of the Community Foundation.
Right.
And then on an annual basis, all the IRS requirements are satisfied through the Community Foundation.
Okay.
It's a huge advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about that process in a little bit more detail. If some of our viewers might be a member of a community that wants to participate, what's the process to establish a fund for their community? Well,
the community has to decide that they want to do it, so that's an internal matter.
Sure.
Then they have a meeting with the Community Foundation.
Okay.
And the Community Foundation helps them set up bylaws and objectives for the organization, and they just move through that process seamlessly.
Sure.
Because they've done it before.
Okay. And so moving back more specifically to the Long Cove Club, what are some of the benefits it's made to our larger community since its inception?
Long Cove was the first community to set up this kind of a community fund, and I was a developer of Long Cove, and I think that this is probably, in my way of thinking, the greatest honor to the community, to the Long Cove Club community. It's just a fantastic commitment to the broader community.
Right.
It has had over $1,200,000 contributed to the foundation, and over $600,000 distributed to nonprofits in the community. So it's been tremendous. I'm involved in other community charities, and I've seen what it's been able to do at the charity level as well.
Well, you have the big Darius Rucker concert every year, and along with the golf tournament. Yeah. So you guys really are working to raise this money too. It doesn't just happen.
No, and there's a home tour. There are different events that take place at the clubhouse, and then there are the golf tournaments as well.
Okay, and so the money generated from that ends up going into this kind of fund that helps, and then.
Yeah.
So is that something is your meeting to decide who the benefactor might be for that particular year? Is that done at the beginning of the year, in the middle of the year? Do you have a fiscal year, or does it kind of come as it goes?
Well, I haven't actually served on the selection committee, but the selection committee meets once a year and then announces their selections in the middle of the year.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. So for those communities, like you said, who might be interested in establishing a fund, The Community Foundation of the Lowcountry is wide open to that, right? They're accessible. Yes. They've got a website. The website's going to be scrolling on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, please.
And it's a fabulous organization. They're really helping out, aren't they?
It's the Community Foundation came out of the sale of our hospital. $20 million was put in a bank for the Community Foundation, and in its lifetime, it's granted or given to the community over $58 million.
It's a pretty good use of funds.
And what's incredible is its corpus, you know, the money in the bank is still about $60 million.
Really?
So they've done it well.
So
the
money that they distribute is basically the money they earn each year.
Wow.
And then they add money over the life of the community from that 20 million up to 60+ million now.
And it's a very multifaceted organization. Yeah. I know, because every time we have somebody coming on to represent it, it's like, okay, well, I didn't know you guys did that too.
Yeah.
Well, they reach out to the charities to help them improve their governance. Denise Spencer, who is the president, goes out into the community and helps organizations do that. They have a Low Country volunteer network, which people interested in the community who want to get involved, they can go through that network and find a home, a charity that they want to work with. There's a giving website where if you can find out where money might be available for your organization. So
and that's something I always tell people, because I get a lot of people who are just moving to the area and they're retired, but they might not be a golfer. I know that's hard to believe. So they want to find something to do, and I always push them that direction, because there really is, that's a great place to start. It's a great hub. They have a huge network, and they can kind of push you in whatever direction of interest that you may have.
They have a fantastic staff. It's dedicated, and they're there to help.
It's like the nicest group of people ever. Yeah. They're all so sweet.
I served on the board for, I don't know, 6+ years. And I think it's one of the most outstanding boards on the island. It really selects well, it's governed well, and it does a great job for the community. It's
a wonderful organization. Well, thank you very much for being with us.
My pleasure.
And make sure that you join us next time for more 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.